I don't know what to say at the start of a video. Well, welcome to my YouTube channel. The reality of the situation is that I have had ideas in my head for weeks as we've been preparing for the new year. Today is January 8th. January 8th, it is 8:38 p.m. I have already done my evening routine. My skincare is done. My hair is in my bonnet. I want to go to sleep because I've been up since 5 a.m. But I've been putting off doing the thing that I want to do because I didn't do my makeup that day. It's already too late. If I start it now, I'm going to want to finish it in its entirety. I don't have my YouTube channel set up in the exact way that I want to. But I know I just have to start. Like most of you, I've been doing a lot of time, or I've been taking a lot of time thinking about what I want this next year to look like. And the truth is this past year has looked different than anything I thought was even a possibility for me. I'm a single mom. I moved to a new city a couple of years ago, and things have not been easy. And they haven't been so hard that I haven't been able to find a way through it. But looking into the next year, I've done really scary things, like write down how much money I want to make. Started intentionally journaling the ideas that I want instilled in my daughters. As all my years as a homeschooler, I spent a lot of time putting down words and thoughts and feelings of who I wanted them to be, and spending every single day intentionally pouring into them in appropriate ways. But things have looked different now, very different. And I want to be careful with how open I am about, the girls and where they're at, which seems disingenuous after a decade of oversharing online about their day-to-day and how they're feeling and what they say and what they think and all of those things. But I think that I've learned over many years that the healthiest thing for me to do is share things online once I've processed them, and I don't think that the majority of my content that exists online respected that. I think that I was vulnerable and honest about a lot of things as a diary entry online that most people could just go through and witness as I was processing it, or sharing it was a way of processing for me. But I feel like once I expressed those ideas out loud, that meant the idea and feeling was processed, and it wasn't. But specifically, I'm planning for this next year, and I'm thinking about all of these different goals that I have. Money, where I want to live, who I want to be with, what I want my job to look like, the kind of clients that I want to attract for weddings and births and family sessions. And there's something that I think I need to keep in mind that will help me keep a positive, maybe not even positive, but just realistic outlook for this next year that I don't think that I've necessarily been great at in years previously. And that's this idea that the best and worst of your year are one and the same. When I look at things from the past year that were the hardest and best things, they're one and the same for me. I totaled my car and then was able to go through the car buying process all by myself for the first time ever. Someone that I loved very dearly got sober, but I no longer have that person in my life. The custody situation with my children changed drastically, but all of us are getting to experience something brand new. There are a lot of these things that in the moment were heartbreaking or I was absolutely elated by. And then the next day, those opposite feelings either took over or coexisted. If I look at the goals that I have set for me in 2024, which is kind of wild to say, I can see ways in which if I don't hit them specifically how I have them written down, I would see them as failures. But I can also look ahead a little bit in fear and see those different goals or coming short of those different goals. I can see in which not hitting them or being on a completely different path is also going to show me a lot of growth. Part of that kind of realistic approach to things makes it, having this outlook, it would be easy to put down really safe goals. I want to make money this year versus I want to make $100,000 this year. If I just say I want to make money this year, then, having that realistic outlook of, if I make any money is making money, right? But really going after a specific number is going to drive me in a way that I never have been before, right? Many people do this with weight loss. I want to lose weight this year. I want to get in shape this year. But they're not specific about it. So while weight loss isn't part of my vision for this year, there have been years where it has been. And there have been times where I've said, I want to weigh 145 pounds. And maybe I'm 160, 165 pounds when I say that. So in years past, I have looked at coming to 150 pounds or 148 pounds as a failure because I said I wanted to do 145 pounds. And I've gotten really down on myself about that. Instead of looking at the fact that those years I got my CrossFit certification, I coached 10 athletes, I may have got my daughter to nationals in weightlifting. There are so many other metrics that could be measured as successful that were earned on the way to that goal. But holding on very tightly to the specific goal has, caused those feelings of shame or caused those feelings of not being enough. So if you're in this boat of having an idea or having a goal that you want to chase, but the specifics either keep you from even starting or may hinder you later on with the ideas of failing because you don't hit them exactly like what you're picturing now, I want to let you know you have total control over whether or not that devastates you. It doesn't have to. I'm really proud that I got my camera out today. I'm not sure if this mic is going to work. I'm really scared that I'm going to watch a recording back and there be no sound because this has happened several times to me. I wish that I looked more presentable, that I put a bra on, that I had cute makeup, that I understood my lighting a little bit better. All of those things. But I just want to start. I want to start somewhere. I think that sometimes as creatives, we want to hold on to things until we have a really aesthetic, beautiful, professional look to something, or we want to present the idea of perfection from the start when so many of us are going through so many iterations of ideas and failure and attempts and reroutes that it's dishonest to put out a perfectly polished work of media out into the world, which is okay. I don't think that you need to be seeing behind the scenes of everything. I think that, that there is magic in seeing a final polished product. But as someone who's trying diligently to put out into the world. Honest stories that are vulnerable. I feel like this might be the perfect way for me to start. And if I can let go of the fear that some of the biggest successes I've had have been so bittersweet and have been accompanied by some tragic realizations, and some of the biggest failures I've had or the hardest moments that I faced have given me more strength and insight than most of my successes has, I think that this year could be really beautiful for me. So thank you for coming along on this journey with me. My name is May. I'm a lifestyle family photographer here in San Antonio, Texas. I do video creation and images for a nonprofit organization here as well. And I'm trying to figure out how to most honestly create something that's worthy of these stories that we're all living. Thanks for joining me.